And we're back, and we're talking The Rock, directed by Michael Bay from 1996. We got a little synopsis here via the friends at Letterboxd. First off, a tagline, Alcatraz. Only one man has ever broken out. Now 5 million lives depend on two men breaking in. And a little synopsis here. FBI chemical warfare expert Stanley Goodspeed is sent on an urgent mission with a former British spy, John Patrick Mason, to stop General Francis X. Hummel from launching chemical weapons on Alcatraz Island into San Francisco. General Hummel demands $100 million in war reparations to be paid to the families of slain servicemen who died on covert operations. After their SEAL team is wiped out, Stanley and John deal with the soldiers on their own. So we're talking about The Rock here on the Criterion Creeps. I don't know if I mentioned that, but this is the Criterion Creeps. We're talking about The Rock. This is an all-time banger for me. The only reason I agreed to do this podcast was because I knew that one day we would eventually come to The Rock. I love The Rock. I think it's wicked good. I haven't seen it in probably 10 to 15 years. This is...
Like a prison sentence.
Like a prison sentence, 10 to 15, man. A hard 10 to 15. If you are a fan of the show and you've been listening, this is one of those films you could file under Sundays at my grandparents'. As I've mentioned, they didn't really own a lot of movies. They had like 10 on VHS, and this was one of them. And this was one that my grandma didn't usually like us to watch because this was a serious-ass movie. This had some hard shit in it, man. People were swearing. People were melting. People were blowing up. So grandma didn't really like it when the kids were watching The Rock. So it made it even more tempting. Forbidden fruit, you could say. So I have a lurid history with The Rock. It was always a movie that felt like it was exciting to watch it. It was like, ooh, man, grandma doesn't want me to watch this movie. This is serious shit. What else? What else is there to talk about The Rock? You want me to hit it a little bit, or you want to get into it?
You go.
I'm a little caught off guard because Jarrett didn't tell me I would be introducing the movie, so here I am introducing the movie. I have many notes. My first, I guess I'll just talk about The Rock briefly. You know what happens? We got Ed Harris. He's got those chemical weapons, and he goes into Alcatraz because it is an impenetrable fortress, and it is ideal distance between there in San Francisco. So they're going to blow up a bunch of dudes with chemical weapons. This is serious-ass chemical weapons. You see in the intro when they steal them, the weapons are behind a padlocked door, which I feel is not enough security. Yeah, there's two guys in the room, and there's like a scan card thing, but I feel like that's not enough for what Nicolas Cage says are weapons that we shouldn't have invented because they will destroy humanity. So they steal this, and one guy dies, and you're like, oh, shit, those green balls, that's serious stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Simultaneously, you're introduced to Nick Cage's character, Mr. Stanley Goodspeed. He is a crackerjack chemist. You see him with a box from Bosnia or something, which they think has sarin gas in it. And you're introduced to the hero because he's like dismantling this bomb, and he's cool and he's collected. And you're like, God damn, that guy knows how to handle himself. But then in the next scene, or in the scene previous, he's like, I am a Beatlemaniac. And it's really off-putting. And then there's really conflicting scenes where he's like really awkward and uncomfortable and doesn't know how to talk. But then he's also a superhero. So I feel like they weren't really sure what to do with this guy. I don't know if that's Nick Cage or if that's Michael Bay. Who knows? So anyways, you got this guy, and then they're like, oh, shit, we need to break into Alcatraz to disarm these bombs. And they're like, well, no one knows how to do that. No one except a super sexy Sean Connery. He's got super long hair. He's been in jail for a long time. I'm guessing his fingernails are really long and out of control. We don't know. So they go and they talk to him. He takes little convincing to agree to it pretty well. And he's
got that pardon to look forward to.
Yeah, pardon, but he never really buys that. And he also has he's got a power play where he just he uses that little quarter, scratches the two-way glass and smashes it, which I think is one of the funniest scenes of the movie because it's just him with his long hair looking through the window, and he's like, "Womack, you son of a bitch." I think that is really funny. So anyways, what's going on here? Nick Cage and Sean Connery team up. They go to the prison led by the guy from Aliens, whatever his name was. And then you have Ed Harris's crew. And I wrote down all the boys are here. At 17 minutes and 45 seconds, you see all the boys. Boys like David Morse, William Forsythe, John C. McGinley, Bookham Woodbine, Tony Todd, all those guys that you're just like, yeah, they are military men. They're badass. Candyman. The only one you were missing was the guy from The Dark Knight, the bank guy who's in Armageddon 2.
Fitchner.
William Fitchner. Yeah, he
wasn't quite on the map yet. Yeah.
Yeah, he would be when Armageddon would come around.
That's right.
But so he was the only guy missing. Other than that, I was like, they fucking nailed it. They got every hard dude they could get in this one.
That's kind of Michael Bay's thing.
Hard dudes?
Getting crazy crazy casts together of guys.
Who doesn't? I remember when Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles was coming out a couple years ago, and they had that bumper in the trailers with Will Arnett, and he's like, "It's Michael Bay's Ninja Turtles. What else do we have to say?" And everyone in the theater would be like, "Yeah, you're so right. It is Michael Bay's Ninja Turtles." So that's all I can think of.
Your Will Arnett.
Was it good?
Yeah, captured it well. Nice. I just think of Job.
I feel bad for Will Arnett because the dude got divorced and he's clearly taken on roles he doesn't want, like Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. So, anyways, whenever I think of Michael Bay now, I just think of Will Arnett just dying inside. Mm-hmm. So, anyways. Nick Cage and Sean Connery break in, and they got to go covert, and they have to dismantle all these bombs that you are told are very risky and sensitive. At the same time, they are dealing with Ed Harris's goons, and that's The Rock, man. I think this is peak Michael Bay. In the first 20 seconds of this movie, you have American flags. You have helicopters over sunsets. You have military burials. And you have flames coming at the camera. All in the first half a minute of this movie. So this is the top of the top, man. I think this movie has examples of everything Michael Bay is known for. Machoism, things that don't make sense, action that's distracting. I think the car chase in this movie is real bad and real boring. It has my most hated thing in car chases ever, when the character in the car goes move and is waving their hand. It's like the guys are 100 feet ahead of you. They're not in the car with you. They can't hear you. Why are you shouting move at them? What are you doing? I hate that. So it has a really bad car scene. There are unnecessary explosions that don't make sense. Like when the trolley cart slowly crashes into a car and there is a gigantic explosion. And you're just like, what is that thing made of? There are scenes where you feel like Michael Bay doesn't understand what the military is, but he's trying his best. You get that the entire time Ed Harris is on screen, where he's but it's somewhat heroic because he's I'm trying to get the reparations for fallen soldiers. So the movie is really smart in that sense because it's almost foolproof, because it's well, if you don't like this movie, you're un-American. Because what do you want, dead soldiers? What do you want, dead soldiers to be broke, their families? What are you, a fucking animal? So and that's a trend I found in Michael Bay movies as well. So this movie has that. This movie has classic things like the rich guy getting his, where it's where a rich guy or the authority figure has a fancy car and then it gets smoked. There's scenes like that in this. There is inappropriate things towards different races and people of different sexual orientation, which I think you had a good way to describe that. The gay panic. There's some of that in here. What else is there? This thing's got it all, man. Bad chasing. I think there is the shoehorned in romance that is really out of place and really brings it down. So you have this girlfriend of Nick Cage who's supposed to like ground the story for you because she's pregnant and because she's in San Francisco for like the dumbest reason. He's like, don't come to San Francisco. And she's like, I'm coming to San Francisco. And it's like, fuck, that's dumb. But it's like, I think it's supposed to ground his character so there's like a real threat. He's like, I can't let a single missile get through because my pregnant girlfriend is on the island, and it's like, or on San Francisco. But it's like, I think the stakes are high enough because the entire city of San Francisco is literally about to be decimated. You don't need like one character to be there to ground it. So I think that's kind of silly. And then I think the last thing I'll say is it also has the ridiculousness of Michael Bay, which I kind of love. Like the fact that there's the Donkey Kong style cart, like mine carts underneath Alcatraz. Maybe that's real. I don't know. It's in a Michael Bay movie, so that's cool. I like
kind of in a Broken Arrow as well.
So maybe it's a real thing.
No, it's just a movie thing. That's for sure.
Yeah,
I think it's like Temple of Doom. I think it goes back to at least Temple of Doom.
So there's crazy stuff like that. There are scenes where I wrote down a time code. So if anyone's asking, I can tell you. At 1 hour, 10 minutes, and 40 seconds, there's a scene where a guy is just pressing buttons. He is literally just pressing buttons on a wall with no logic to it at all. But, whatever. I like it. What was I going to say? There's all the like stuff with guys smashing glass, Nick Cage playing guitar, which is ridiculous. The fact that he's a Beatles fan is ridiculous.
Is this the last thing that you had to say?
No, it was. So two more things. One thing is this movie has like grammatical errors in it, and I found that like really fucking weird. Like there's a scene where Ed Harris is like talking about like them being called as patriots. He's like, they were called patriots, and in time, so shall we. And like you think he's gonna say more stuff, but he doesn't, and you're just like, wait a minute, that doesn't really make sense. Like there are certain times where dialogue doesn't make sense. It's like that's not how English works. It's not.
That's how film editing works, RJ.
Film editing, yeah. So there are times like that, and then the last thing I'll say is I was talking about the ridiculousness. I like how in this movie they confirm that Roswell we found aliens, and it's like the end of the movie, and I just like I think it's amazing because it's like that's peak Michael Bay. Just to throw in a little nugget like that, it's like oh yeah, the Roswell landing, okay, and it's just like a throwaway line. It's like, wait a minute. Did you just like offhand confirm that aliens exist? I love it. Yeah. I love it. So that's my rundown of The Rock. I'm interested to hear what you have to say. By the way, I used to really like this movie. As I said, it made me excited because it was like forbidden fruit. I don't think it is the best movie. I would say I would even go out on a limb to say I think Armageddon is better than this. I think this one's cooler for sure. Like all the chemical warfare stuff and Nick Cage and Sean Connery. It's a cooler movie, and I had a really fond memory of it. But watching it for the first time in 10, 15 years, I was like, this movie's got a few things going for it that I don't know about this. It's a little goofy. So anyways, I think The Rock it's nostalgically enjoyable. I could see people of today watching it just fucking hating this thing, and that's fine too. Needless to say, it is the second most controversial Criterion Collection pick ever, next to Armageddon. So I don't know. That's cool on its own, I guess. But what do you think, Jarrett? What do you think of The Rock?
Well, RJ, so I saw that Rock in theater when I was a lad.
Nice.
This is one of like maybe 8 movies I saw in theater with my mom. Um, this movie came out in that window of time where like my mom would actually go to a theater. I don't think she's been to a theater in like over 15 years. Um, which
Nice.
which I think is like a common thing amongst moms. Many moms I know of just do not go to theaters. They do not have
We're tired of.
time. They don't like the whole idea of having to go out because some people even like, oh, I have to go like get dressed up to go to the theater. And I'm like, no, mom, it's not like that anymore. It hasn't been for a very long time.
Wait a minute. Are you telling me you don't get all dressed up to go to the theater? I've
Gussy,
been to the theater with you.
gussied up.
Yeah, you and your rompers and your little frill hula hoop skirts or
Yeah.
whatever.
I remember seeing this with the family. We went to The Rock because when this movie came out back in 1996, it was a big deal.
Sure was.
People are all about this being like this big defining action movie of the era, which you could say it was, absolutely. But yeah, it definitely made that one like weird, like kind of like sex scene. That's like the one thing that I'll always remember being like, ooh, that was kind of awkward. And it's like watching it again. It's like it's not that explicit or anything like that, but just his Nicolas Cage's girlfriend just grinding around in his lap with.
Yeah, you should make a list of sex scenes you've watched with your mom. I have two I can think of offhand. Man on the Moon with Jim Carrey when he's at the whorehouse,
Yep.
which isn't the worst, not the most explicit. But you know which one is the worst? I watched Scary Movie with my mom, and there's the ejaculate scene where the lady blows onto the roof. That one was a little awkward. So,
Well,
anyways.
So this is a Simpson Bruckheimer number.
Nice.
And of course, this movie is also dedicated to the passing of Don Simpson, who died.
Whatever.
Yeah. So now
We
it's just,
don't need him.
Now it's just Jerry Bruckheimer all day, every day. I don't even know what I wrote this note about. Why does RJ talk about these old piece of shits no one should care about anymore?
What are you talking about? Are you talking about The Rock?
Yeah, this is one of those movies that I was like, why is he obsessed about these movies? I think that was the question I was asking myself when I was about to watch
While
it.
watching it?
Yeah, or when I was about to watch it.
Because welcome to The Rock, baby.
So, slow motion. That driving Michael Bay music. It doesn't matter who does the score for a Michael Bay movie.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter because everyone is expected to deliver that Michael Bay sound. They all have them.
Yeah.
And I was like, are these made by the same people? It's like, no, he goes through music people all the time. He just finds different people to do it. Because it doesn't matter. Something hard charging, some drums, some just no. And then later some guitar riffs. Got to throw those out there.
I think the music's real bad in this one, by the way. I never mentioned that, but I thought the music was really like, ugh.
It's Michael Bay music, man.
Yeah, I know.
It's what it is. And then I just wrote dramaturgy because it's just like, man, I know people who really are into The Rock. Probably still, and they probably haven't watched
Like
it.
me?
No, like people. So one of my buddies in junior high, Tim Anderson.
Nice shout out.
He was like obsessed with this movie, and that's probably why like this movie in my mind I feel like had a high regard to it. I remember being, that movie's pretty cool, but Tim, he like loved this movie so much. He wanted to be a Navy SEAL because of this movie.
Oh shit!
But he was like 5'9" and like 150 pounds.
All the SEALs die in this movie, though.
Oh, but
You'd be better off to be a chemist.
That scene pissed him off.
Where they all die?
Yeah, he's like, it's bullshit.
You can't kill a SEAL.
Yeah. He loved this movie, but he says bullshit. This movie was bullshit because they killed the SEALs, and they wouldn't go out like that. They wouldn't be fucked over like that. No way, it's bullshit. That's the sort of guy he was.
Yeah.
But yes, American flags and just rain and like it's laying it all out for you. This movie's got the ugliest like opening credit card I've ever seen. Like when it's like the rock and like it's like this like frame of flames, but it's like overblown. Like they shot a footage, but they're like, oh, we need it closer, and they just have it underneath the black text.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, it's like it looks so shitty.
So cool.
It's like,
oh yeah, shitty. I mean,
yeah. So the whole thing is setting up how like Ed Harris is a patriot. He is a good man driven to do bad things because the government has failed him.
yeah. Well, he's trying his best, man. That's
We've
what
all-
I mean.
we've
If
all
you
been
don't
there.
support him, you're unpatriotic.
So
You're un-American, baby.
yeah, so old Ted Harris, Ed, he like just is talking out loud to his wife's
Always.
grave and like explaining things in a way that there's no ambiguity because you never know who's gonna watch your movie. Maybe they won't understand if you just like let them like story tell itself.
Yep.
And yeah, more driving triumphant music.
Ooh.
And yeah, we get Michael Bay loves shooting stuff at night with blue lighting and rain. Those are like a couple of his favorite things. And there's like certain like ways that he has his cinematographers shoot stuff where it's like, oh, it's like, is this the same movie? Like watching Bad Boys, I was like, oh, that's like the same shot again. And like 8 years later.
Mm-hmm.
So here we have the break-in to the chemical plant. We get a bunch of dual wielding guys double gunning, and because that's more reliable way of shooting stuff.
Usually.
Well, it's like so like in John Woo movies, it's kind of cool. It works.
Yeah.
And you would think that like Michael Bay would be like, he's one of those guys who's like super into gear and he's super into the military, that he'd like, I don't know, listen to experts about like how stuff would go down. But he's like, no, I'm sure in the commentary track for this, he'd be like, no, it doesn't look way cooler to do it that way. Like that's,
Who are you to say different?
well, like, exactly. Who am I?
Mm-hmm.
So from a plot standpoint, from like a drama movie construction standpoint, I do like the use of the chemical weapon demo where you get the guy who drops one of the gems, and you get like probably like a nice like throwback to like RoboCop with a man melting.
Mm-hmm.
That
part's awesome.
Yeah, that part, like I remember like that was like when I was like, I don't know, how old was I when this movie came out? 13. That bit kind of freaked me out because I was like, oh god, chemical weapons, that's like horrifying, it could happen to me. And it's like great because it sets up this idea that, hey, this, when we set the whole rest of the plot in motion, people will have that visual in their mind when they're thinking about what's going to happen in San Francisco.
Yeah, I also forgot to mention, I love the design of the chemical weapon. I love the green orbs. They're so cool.
The pearl.
The pearls.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh man, it's so badass.
It's very.
So cool.
It's super memorable. Like it's one of those things that like it's so iconic along with this movie, even if it makes no fucking sense. So Nicolas Cage is a guy who pays $600 for a Beatles LP.
He's a Beatlemaniac.
I don't know if that seems like a really high price in like 1996, but
probably
that was like right after like the Beatle anthology had come out and like Beatles were probably really popular again. But yeah, I think he overpaid for that potentially. People, vinyl enthusiasts, you can let me know if I'm wrong on that.
I hope they do.
And so
I hope they call you out.
once again we have Michael Bay presenting like science is like really sexy and goofy and male and like high, like it's just exactly what you expect if you've seen Armageddon. It's Michael Bay's world of cool.
That's what it was like when I worked in the science lab.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know. I thought it was pretty accurate.
Yeah. You would know.
I would.
So yeah, Bosnia. That is very 1996. Because Bosnia, it was really a place, you guys.
It sure was.
And that's, people know what that means because they watch CNN. Hey, it's Bob from UHF. That guy, he's in this. That was cool. And yeah, so we get the whole exciting scene with like Doll exploding out gas and bombs and camera spiraling all out of craziness. And it's just like a exciting scene, just for the sake of having an exciting scene, I guess.
Well, you got to see how good he is.
Right. He works
it's like
great under pressure.
You got to see how good he is. But even though like he's a total goof.
Yeah.
Like the interrogation scene like totally negates the entire that scene because it's like he goes and he's like, oh, I can dismantle a bomb, but I can't talk to this old man.
It's about scenes.
Yeah,
it's all about scenes in the moment, and then you just go to the next one. That next moment, I guess, is when we see him in his like massive apartment in San Francisco.
Yeah,
or not San Francisco, wherever the fuck they're based out of.
Somewhere else, but they're
Somewhere
playing
else.
guitar.
It's huge. It's like the biggest
Yeah.
apartment. It's like one of those great movie apartments that don't exist in real worlds.
Yeah.
And he's just strumming his guitar and talking about how he saved the world. We get a lot of like AM radio music playing.
We sure do.
We get the one line I always think of is like, it'd be a cruel thing to bring a child into this world. And then I'm 3 weeks pregnant, because apparently people can know if they're 3 weeks pregnant. That seems soon to me.
What, have you never taken the test?
I personally have not.
Poser.
But I think that seems quick to know how many weeks you are. Other than it's just like, it's a line in the movie.
I don't know. I'm not a doctor.
Yeah.
Who knows?
And then we get to Alcatraz, and we get the whole rest. The plot's going now. Ed Harris shows up with his weapons, but not before we get one of those famous little things that you get in Michael Bay movies, which is like fat dorky people. He really likes fat dorky people.
Making fun of fat people?
Yeah, just like they're goofs. They're there to be amused by you.
Yep.
His socks are uneven. He's like a real goof. And that's it. And it's like, especially by like real big Tony Todd like men who just toss people aside. Yeah, and then we get my note here: Michael Bay Black Americans with sayings.
Unfortunate.
Yeah, so is that I'm trying to figure out if I jumped ahead too much. I can't even remember when they start saying this stuff, but it's always like in his movies where like if there's a moment for like an African American to react to something, and they do, and they say fucker, they swear, and they're real they're just there for entertainment with every single time. I'm not the first person to notice this. It's just like, oh, Michael Bay. Black men, black women, they all sayings. Yeah, because it's what it is because they're getting locked up in the all the tourists are being locked up.
You know, he's like, what kind of prison is this?
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, I know. I went to Michael Bay's School of Acting.
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah.
What's the motherfucker? No. See, it's just like Bay.
Well, I think that ugly thing rears its head even more in the Transformers movies, where there is no race to the robots, but you know what he was going for.
Oh yeah, they got grills.
They got grills, man, and they break dance and
yeah. We get that scene with the guy who really likes Michael Bolton from Office Space explaining how the motion sensors, because it has to like explain this thing out very clearly, because Michael Bay doesn't respect the audience. He knows his audience is dumb. And he doesn't want ambiguity. He wants everything to be plain. Then we get the big speech about, some people call us terrorists and we're doing wrong things. Well, you know, a few guys like George Washington and Thomas Jefferson were branded terrorists too. It's like, ooh, sick.
Now they call them patriots.
Yeah. So
what are you umming?
There's like, okay, I had to take a swig there. $1 million to live abroad for the rest of your life. That doesn't sound really awesome now in 2018 when dudes are spending $600 on like first pressings of like Beatles LPs in like 1996.
Yeah, they could have bumped it up a little higher because like $100 million, I think the government would have just said yes. They probably would have paid that out.
Yeah, well, it's like each of these mercenaries now, they're getting $1 million for this one thing. And I'm like, geez, like, is this what you're willing to do? Never to be able to set foot on your homeland ever again? And it's like, oh, just $1 million? Like, fuck,
it's
man.
Not that bad. They could have came to Canada.
I guess.
Right?
You got to go where that extradition treaty doesn't exist, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got to plan this stuff out. Anyways, we got a great scene, of course, that just like right out of Armageddon School of template of like, this is a teaspoon of the stuff does this in the atmosphere. It kills this much. It's like it's the size of Texas, Mr. President scene.
I love that so much.
And you get the picture. You always like, this is like vintage Bay. Yeah, we got Philip Baker Hall showing up. I guess sometime after P.T. Anderson's Heart 8, just around the same time, actually. Guitar riffs.
Hey, how's that go again? Nice.
Oh, guitar riffs.
Nice.
Nothing makes a movie shittier than with guitar riffs. Anyway, so hey, I'm on record saying I don't like Sean Connery much as an actor.
Yeah, you are that guy.
Yeah,
aren't
I
you?
am. This is like that window of time where I think he's fine, where he's like kind of Last Crusade up, where he's kind of like not the main actor who has to carry everything. He's just like he gets to have fun now, and he's old man, even though he's not even that old at this point. He's just gray and white.
Yep. And
But
droopy.
I don't know. I don't really appreciate the Sean Connery, Nicolas Cage camaraderie stuff. It's very like there. It's nothing special. And it's going to carry the whole movie. And it's like, I think that's what kind of mitigates this movie to kind of just like, territory.
It's not good, and that's like where the script really shines through. Like, there's a scene where Nick Cage is disarming like the first bomb, and Sean Connery's like, he was like, "What is this? Like a bomb or something?" And Nick Cage like freaks out on him. He's like, "Listen, man, like this is
I'm a lot under pressure."
Yeah, I'm a little bit under pressure, so why don't you cut me a freaking break? And he says it like not like quite like that, but he's like, why don't you cut me a freaking break, man? And like he says friggin' or something, not even fucking.
Yeah.
He's like, oh,
Yeah, hard,
and then
hard F.
And then it like goes to Sean Connery's face, and he like with just totally no enthusiasm, he's like, oh, okay, you should have just said, all right, whatever. He's like, if it meant that much to you, okay. And you're just like, man, these guys do not read well together, like off of each other.
No, they're very, I don't know, there.
And what about that scene where Sean Connery gives a thumbs up? That's pretty cool.
Yeah. We get Sean Connery getting the line of grunge.
Grunge.
Ugh, that stuff. Yeah, I got a list of them, and they're always in all caps, so I always know who said them.
You keep your list. I just realized I'm going to send you various pictures of the film while we podcast.
Okay.
So you don't have to
React.
be watching at all the time or react, but I sent you a pretty cherry one earlier.
Fascinating. So anyway, then we get the thing where Sean Connery now agrees to like help out, do the thing, whatever.
Yeah.
And then but he's like, before I agree, we got to get a new haircut, which of course means in comes the hairstylist, who's
the gay character.
Gay, and you have to just go, oh God, I'm really uncomfortable now because Michael Bay. Yeah. So, hey, you know how he likes those black people. You know how he's gonna have to handle those gay people. And it's just like, whatever. This is like very much of the time. If you ever watch like The Birdcage and like every fucking movie from the 90s that has a comedy gay character, it was this. You can watch, there's an entire documentary on it called The Celluloid Closet. You should watch that.
I'm just going to watch this scene again.
Yeah. Yeah. So anyway, it hasn't aged well. We'll just leave it at that. We get our first like Michael Bay obsession with the song Leaving on a Jet Plane.
Yeah, that does come up quite a bit, eh?
Yeah, and it comes back, right, in Armageddon. So, themes. I'm pretty sure that a rope would tear through a man's hand if he was dropped off a building like that.
Oh, fuck. If not that, like, his hand or arm would have came off completely. Yeah. But, I mean, don't worry about that.
Yeah, we get the escape, which leads to that car chase that RJ mentioned not being particularly good. So bad. I've got a hot take here, RJ.
Yeah.
I think Michael Bay is kind of a bad action director.
You know what? We'll get there, but I watched a recent Michael Bay movie, a war movie about action called 13 Hours, and that movie has bad action in it. Yeah. So we'll get there, but I've also come to this conclusion. Yeah.
So a few things about this car chase. I wonder if Humvee sales went up after this movie.
Guaranteed.
My next note. What a shitty car chase. Like, it sucks. Like, it's so badly edited. Like, it's not even like the cliche of Michael Bay edit. It's like, oh, he just like, it's all like too many cuts, blah, 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 blah. And it's like, he doesn't like shoot stuff to let the moments breathe and tell the story well. Like, you don't really know what's going on. You don't have enough time to like get that, oh shit, which you should get when you're watching a car chase. And considering this guy is like, he is one of the world's most famous action directors. Like his entire career is making action movies.
Mm-hmm.
He's terrible. How can you not? And it's in San Francisco. It's the town of Bullitt, the most like iconic car chase in film history. And let's do a bad one.
Yeah, it's not good.
I'll let you guess who said this line. I hope you're insured.
A black character?
No, that was Sean Connery.
Oh, okay.
And it's like one of those lines that they put in after the fact, and it's just because it's like he just turned to like admire his like sideswipe, and they just throw in that because it'll punch it up. It'll be funny.
When would anyone ever not be insured? Like honestly,
why would he be worried about it? But
why would he care? It's like yelling "move" at people.
Oh yeah. So
what are you doing?
So in this movie, it's like it's obvious, right, to you that Sean Connery's playing James Bond. That's the idea.
Yeah.
That's the gag.
But rogue Bond.
Well, he never went rogue. He just got caught, and then England abandoned him. But whatever. That's there's like people who are like, I have crazy fan theories. I'm like, no, that's the joke. It's like Sean Connery's most famous for being James Bond. The idea is that he got caught, and now he's having adventures with Nicolas Cage. Sparks and explosions. Lots of those.
There sure are.
Yeah, and then we get, "Hey man, you just fucked up your Ferrari," which is a line that like people still throw out there, it seems, weirdly enough.
Hey man, you just fucked up your Ferrari.
Yeah, and then he takes his bike stolen, and then we get a Michael Bay camera spin. We'll more on that later, I guess. This movie, considering it is well shot, lit, all-star cast, it sure feels kind of cheap.
Oh yeah, I'm pretty sure they pinched some pennies on the actual making of this movie.
Like especially like anything like it's in like the government center where they're making all these calls. Like, it all feels like really like, oh, this feels like a, I don't know.
It was done at an Applebee's. All of those.
All those Applebee shots.
Yeah, they just blacked out the windows.
I made the note here that I'm like, after I noticed, like, I'd written already like a page of notes at this point. I'm like, it never fails that these sorts of movies always bring out me being able to write a ton of notes. Because there's some movies I watch that are like really well made, but they don't really elicit a response. And then movies like this and Armageddon, it brings out the most in me.
The most. That's a unique word to describe you.
Yeah. I didn't know anyone who didn't love this movie in the late 90s. This was on my mind as I was watching this movie. And I was kind of like, this movie, I don't know, man.
It's kind of like me. If you ask anyone who is at least born in the 90s and hasn't seen it in like 10 years or more, be like, what do you think of The Rock? They'd be like, fuck, man, The Rock rules.
Yeah.
That's what I always said.
That's what I might have even said like a few years ago.
Yeah. Right, The Rock's awesome.
No. Then we get Sean Connery talking about avoiding gang rape in the showers because that's funny.
Oh, yeah.
But it doesn't seem to be a problem these days. Maybe I've lost my sex appeal.
Nice.
And I feel like
come on,
many a man has wept during the Navy SEALs massacre.
I wasn't a little bitch. I watched this when I was like 6 years old, and I was cool with it.
Yeah.
Yeah. What's your problem?
I don't know. I feel like people like this is the scene that people obsess about. This is like the iconic moment because I guess it was like for this type of movie, it's dramatically cool because generally you think that the Navy SEALs they'll get picked off one by one, and then it'll just be the two of them. But no, they wipe them all out, and the rest of the movie they're just on their own. It's like that's interesting. I guess that's like one of the better bits of this movie that makes it stand out because it comes out as a surprise. You wouldn't expect that. All these, like, in hindsight, it's like all these faceless Navy SEALs dudes that you've spent a little bit of time with and being introduced to and been given faces to.
Like
they're all,
Michael Biehn.
They're dead.
Well, Michael Bay's smart.
Yeah.
He killed that guy from Aliens for a reason.
Yep.
Couldn't have him in this movie.
Because you think he's going to be there till the end. It's like, no, man, he's dead halfway.
Yep. So
this movie's 2 hours and 15 minutes.
Sure is. They all are. Every Michael Bay movie is at least 2.5, 4 hours long.
I made the note here. That is some late 20th century man bun that one of the mercenaries is sporting. And I went, shit, there it was. Maybe it's
sexy.
It's sexy. We got winners go home to fuck the prom queen.
Ooh, gross.
Yeah. And then we're informed that, she is the prom queen.
Oh.
Oh, because that's their repertoire. They're back and forth. They're great.
Yeah, they do not have a good chemistry here.
No. When we get some a lesson from Sean Connery, you must never hesitate.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
How many times do you think he said that in film? At
Well,
least 4 different movies. Doesn't he say that in Last Crusade? Doesn't he say that in every movie?
Oh, and here's my note, RJ, that you've already referred to is cut him some friggin' slack.
Oh, that scene is real bad.
It's funny. I mean, I remember like the thing with the air conditioner crushing the guy's head.
That scene's fun.
That's like right after that, right? But the way it plays out afterwards, kind of like, oh.
Well, so that scene is funny, and then the line right after when Nick Cage is like, "Tell me, you've seen a lot of dead bodies. Is that normal? Because like the body is twitching." And I was like, "Yeah." I was like, "That's good stuff." But the cut me some friggin' slack thing, I was like, I don't like that.
Yeah. When a movie's like peppered with tons of F-bombs, and then you have to throw a friggin'.
Yeah, because it's like I said, I feel like the character was like, I don't know, like not really well conceived. Like he was like smooth under pressure, but he was also a nerd and a dork, and like he said weird shit. But he's a Beatlemaniac, but he's also dating the prom queen, and it's just like, fuck, what did they want to do with this person?
Yeah, he's just a medley of character traits with Nicolas Cage there.
Vegetable medley.
Yeah. And then we get an "I'm too old for this."
Yeah.
Yeah, we get a lot of like guys getting blown away from explosions, which is something that'll come up in other movies. I have a question: is Alcatraz really in this sort of disrepair?
Yes.
You heard it here first.
Did you?
Oh, I got a note here of so Man Bun's strategy of throwing a grenade into Nicolas Cage's like cart and like giving him enough time though to throw it back at him is just terrible. It's like, I thought you were like a veteran. Wouldn't you know how to do this? Like you pull it, you wait, and then you throw it. Not like pull it, throw it, and then it's like, oh, Nicolas Cage just throws it back at you. Oh fuck.
Oh fuck. I think that scene is so good. Yeah, I don't know what they're going for.
I don't know. Yeah, so we get things. Action, action, action. Then we get another great Connery line of, "Some sniper's going to get his ass."
Ass. It's funny because men should talk about other
my
men's
note
asses.
here is, who is he talking to with these asides?
No one. The audience, Jarrett.
Oh, no, I wrote, the audience, because movie.
Yeah.
It's a movie.
He needs to keep people informed.
Yep. And then, just like on this show, time runs out, and missiles are launched. A missile. But Ayers aborts. Because he's still a decent man, even though he's gone through all this effort. And, like, you know, I guess he just was always going to bluff, is, like, the idea behind it.
I guess. But he should know better than anyone not to bluff. He's a general.
Yeah. But here we go. But you know what, though? I think that the best bit of this movie is the whole third act. I think it's, like, probably the third act. Just, like, everything from that point on.
Yeah.
The Mexican standoff, shootout, the big them racing to like get rid of the last missile before it gets launched. Tony Todd being called Rocket Man and getting sent off flying and impaled horribly because he's a black man.
Yep.
All
good
that
stuff.
All that was good times. No, it's like I think like for the whole goddamn movie, that the last bit, like the climax, is probably the most well done.
I agree.
Because there's no cars involved. It's just people running around with goals. I think that shot of Nicolas Cage with the flares, like holding him up in the air, the dramatic music.
So good.
It's so good. Yeah, that's a great moment.
Yeah.
I think. And it's like, oh shit, it's too late. I already fired a missile. And you get the big explosion. Nicolas Cage goes flying in the air into the water and gets pulled out by Sean Connery. And then the good guys win.
Fucking rights they do.
But yeah,
they kicked their ass.
Yeah, they did it.
American style.
So Sean Connery gets to like walk away because he's told, I was vaporized. And but we never see him again. He's just gone. You assume he's going to go hang out with his daughter, maybe.
Yep.
And yeah, the whole like who killed JFK thing at the very end. I think
Yeah, I don't like that.
That's
I liked
garbage.
the Roswell thing. I thought that was really funny, but yeah, the JFK thing sucks.
Yeah.
They should have, if they had brought up Roswell and then an alien ship came out and it was like setting up a sequel, that would have been cool.
No.
Because then they'd be like, we got to find the only guy who's broken out of an alien ship before.
Yeah, where's The Rock 2? Yeah, where is it?
Just wait.
Yeah.
Just wait.
Yeah, so I don't know about this, RJ.
I figured as much.
I don't know. It's not a painful experience getting through it. It's just so fucking long, and like there's some stuff and it's just like ugh. It's way worse than I remember. Like I remember like this being like a good Michael Bay movie, and I was like, no.
Well, that's what I mean. I was a champion of this movie for a really long time, and I watched it. And I was like, oh, well, there's some stuff that 8-year-old me didn't pick up on. Yeah. Okay. So
yeah, I don't know. What do you want to do here? But there was the other Nicolas Cage action movie that came out a year later.
Yeah.
Not directed by Michael Bay, but produced by Jerry Bruckheimer.
Yes.
And that movie's Con Air.
Ooh, baby. I like Con Air quite a bit.
And that movie, directed by Simon West. Yeah. So Con Air was
we both watched Con Air.
We both watched Con Air. So I remember watching this the following year, and like this is like when Nicolas Cage was riding high, Face Off and stuff like that was coming. I think the next year, like he just had these strings of these like action movies, and he was all over the place. And people would just tune in, check out whatever he was doing. Gone in 60 Seconds, that type of thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, RJ, I think Con Air is awesome.
Yeah, Con Air is awesome.
Like
Con Air rules.
It is like it's stupid as fuck, but man, is it fun. Like it's like legitimately one of those movies that I don't know, like all the stupid stuff in it works so well. It because I found with like The Rock, it felt like a parody of an action movie. And like considering it was like this it's considered like this peak action movie, it's like no, it feels like Michael Bay's almost a parody of his own movies, and it's like this is his second movie after Bad Boys, and I think Con Air actually does the Michael Bay Bruckheimer movie best.
Yeah. Like, Con Air is fucking awesome. I was gonna say I think this is a perfect movie almost because it actually hits every single beat you wanted to hit. So I watched this the other night, and Andrea came down like halfway through, and she was watching with me, and she got like really into it too. And I was like, yeah, and like even the goofy shit where it's like the propellers like blowing through the airplane. She's like, oh shit. And like them driving the fire truck. She's like, oh shit. She's like, this movie's getting fucking like intense. I was like, yeah, man, that's Con Air, baby. She couldn't get over how much Nick Cage looked like street punk Jesus, but like really buff. He's so buff in this. But anyways,
his like workout stuff in the jail cell at the beginning.
Oh yeah, he's so buff in this. He's so cool. This is almost a perfect movie. I honestly mean that because it is like it hits everything you want it to.
I will give you that. I think of like 90s action movie stuff, like American 90s stuff. I think this movie is like my favorite. Like, I'd have to really dig around to see what else came out, but like Terminator 2 is like obviously like a masterpiece. Like, it's better than Con Air, but like for this type of movie, it's like it's the peak for this type of thing. Like, I don't know, everything works just great. It's got the amazing cast of like just character actors that just are. Oh, there's John Malkovich and Steve Buscemi and Ving Rhames.
So good.
Like, cause people just keep showing up, and you're just like, oh fuck. Like this was like, cause that was also like had to have been one of my first movies I'd seen with Steve Buscemi, and like it's weird to think that because like he just starts showing up in everything at this point, and he was like that guy in movies, even though he has like this whole career like outside of this stuff, like Trees Lounge, directing his own movies, and would turn into his own like internet meme thing at this point, and people just think of Steve Buscemi as this guy on himself. But like back then, it was like, oh, he's like the Cannibal Lecter in this movie that they just like throw in just for fun. And you got Machete before he was Machete, and
Machete.
Everybody.
Yeah. Dave Chappelle's in this fucking movie.
Dave Chappelle, like before he was
Dave Chappelle.
He broke out.
Yeah.
He was like in Biodome and stuff in this.
Well, Dave Chappelle was in this and Blue Streak, the Martin Lawrence movie, and Sleepless in Seattle. Dave Chappelle was in a few movies.
And
movies.
Fucking John Cusack.
John Cusack, baby. Ooh. Yeah, this movie's got it all, man. I think Con Air is legitimately amazing. I think Nick Cage's accent in this movie is just something to behold in itself. Like, it's so wild. It's so dang wild, man. Anyways, I don't know. I think Con Air is wicked good. I love the guy, the pilot, who they call Swamp Thing.
Okay, MC Gainey.
Oh fuck that guy! I love that actor. He's so good in Lost, man. Remember Lost?
Oh fuck yeah! That's why I was like, what's he all in? I never looked it up.
So good.
But yeah, no, I love like Cyrus the Virus. I think that's so fucking. It's so
good stuff.
It's stupid, but it works. There's like some of my favorite little details are like the one good criminal who's dying of the diabetes.
Yeah.
And then you have
Bubba.
Yeah, Bubba.
From Forrest Gump. Yeah, he's there. He doesn't really do much, but he's there.
He tries to stop a rape.
Mm-hmm.
Because that's in there. This movie's like violent.
Full of rape. The movie starts with an attempted rape.
What?
Well, when those fucking bar guys are like, "You need help getting your wife home."
That's not. No.
That's how it comes off.
No, it doesn't.
Mm-hmm.
You and your fictions. You and what you want to see. No, they're there to jump him. They're there to beat him up.
Yeah, but in the bar, he's like, "I'm gonna dance with this girl here."
Yeah,
it's implied, Jarrett.
Okay, so that's okay. That's one of the problems of this movie off the bat is he wouldn't go to jail. He wouldn't go to jail for that. Come on.
Yeah, but then there'd be no movie.
Exactly. That's fine. But there's
but his body's trained as a weapon, Jared. It makes total sense.
No, I think like based on the logic of how people go to jail in this movie, based on like what happens when that plane goes down in Vegas and all these people are fucking killed because they just wouldn't shoot down. Like Cole Meany, John Cusack, they'd be all going to jail. Like that, they did a horrible job, but it's fine.
It's fine because the movie's cool and everyone likes it.
I always think of Machete's arm dangling off of the handcuffs after they drag the body away. That's
it's funny when that happened. Andrea actually like audibly went like, "Oh shit!"
Yeah, that's a great Like when I saw that in theater, people went all pop for that. People all like were really like super into like the whole thing with Steve Buscemi with the little girl and be like, "Oh man, he's gonna kill that little girl." But then it like builds up to like, "Oh, she's fine. She's waving away to the plane," and everyone goes, "Oh, he didn't kill her."
I gotta say, two things about Steve Buscemi I think are amazing is the offhand. He's like, "I wore that lady's head as a hat for 3 states." You're just like, amazing. And then I love how this movie makes you sympathize with this weird serial killer, where the end of the movie is basically it's like, hey, there's a serial killer out on the loose.
Yep.
But you root for him kind of. You're like, hey, that's fun. He's playing craps. That's so much fun.
Yeah. Excellent work. What else? Yeah. Oh, there's like the one scene that I was like, oh, RJ loves that moment, I bet. When Nicolas Cage just no-sells a fucking bullet wound to the arm. He walks through it. That so scene funny. Is so good. Like
that whole thing, he's like, "I'm gonna show you. I believe in he's like, "I'm gonna teach you to believe in miracles."
Fuck.
And he like starts walking. He gets a bullet through his fucking arm, and he's just like, "Huh," and he just like goes through it.
I don't even think he reacts.
No, he does. He doesn't even react. He just goes through and fucking pummels those dudes.
He just keeps working his way through. Oh.
One other one I love is in Fast and the Furious 5. Vin Diesel gets shot in the shoulder, and he turns around and he gruffs. He's like, "Huh." Like stuff like that is so funny.
Isn't that like one of like the latter Fast and Furious movies where like the Rock's taking full on like rubber bullets, and he's like, should have used real bullets, and just does something.
Maybe
like during a prison ride or something. I can't remember, something like that.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
I like that.
That'll always make me very happy when I see men just getting shot and be like, yeah, I'm cool.
It's like, whatever. I'm so strong.
Yeah, it doesn't hurt.
Con Air's so good.
Mm-hmm. Con Air's awesome. Unlike a bunch of these other movies we watched.
Like what?
Well, RJ, you bullied me successfully into watching Bad Boys again and because I was going to have to watch Bad Boys 2. So
I never made you watch the first one. I just wanted you to watch the second one.
So I'd seen Bad Boys in theater.
Yeah.
That was like 1995. That movie never really left much of a mark on me. I was like super into Will Smith at the time because I love that Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. And now Big Willie was going to become a movie star.
Sure was.
So I mean, what Independence?
And you're really slopping on that thing.
I know. It's better. Do you want Coffin or?
No, I'm fine with it. I just wanted to mention so people in the podcast world aren't like, what is that gooey fucking slop sound?
What is he doing over there?
Yeah. Anyways, tell me about Big Willie.
So, what Independence Day came out 94?
Okay.
I think it was.
Something like that.
Something like that. Whatever. So I was super into him. Martin Lawrence was like, whatever. That's probably like, I remember that Martin show was on. And I was like, oh, I guess he's cool too, I suppose. But Bad Boys is kind of shitty. It's actually kind of like a shocking how bland it is for a Michael Bay movie. Like, there's a couple of like really like, ooh, look at that beautiful golden cinematography that he's famous for. But there's a whole lot of stuff in the middle of this that's just endless. This movie's 2 hours long. It needed to be like 90 minutes.
Yep.
Yeah, it sucks. I don't like this movie very much. You know what? I feel the same way about like a lot of these like buddy cop action movies. 48 Hours, Lethal Weapon. They don't really like do anything for me.
Yeah. Well, that's fine, I guess.
And so I watched Bad Boys 2.
Finally.
Yeah, the movie that is like a talking point out of Hot Fuzz. How you haven't seen Bad Boys 2. Fuck off. There's no reason to. So that movie, it's very similar to Bad Boys.
But they turned that dial to 11. They increased the stakes a little bit.
Michael Bay's film craft is different. It has evolved since Armageddon.
Yep.
It's a bit like it actually looks very similar to Pain and Gain from what I remember.
Yeah, I think so.
Same thing. Who cares about these movies? This movie at least though has like fat body corpses shooting out of the back of a van, which was very funny. Because it's like, well, something I've never seen before. So kudos to you, Michael Bay. It's got this movie's got like 2-3 car chases in it. They're like slightly better than the ones in like The Rock and stuff, but there's like some questionable CGI cars rolling around and flying around overhead. There's this shot of like Martin Lawrence looking out of the car screaming as a CGI car flies overhead. And it's just like, holy crap. Terrible.
Yep. It's been a long time since I've seen Bad Boys 2, but I remember I saw it in theaters whenever it came out. When did Bad Boys 2 come out? Like 2002?
2003.
2003. So I was 13 years old. I was in the theater and I was watching Bad Boys 2, and I had a hell of a time.
That was the age I was when I saw The Rock.
Loved it, man. It was so much fun. So I haven't seen it in years and years, and I don't think I'm going to watch it again because I don't want to ruin that joy that I had watching Bad Boys 2. But yeah, Bad Boys 2 is real shit, man. Those cadavers falling out.
Yeah.
The seriousness of Big Willie.
So this movie is almost 2.5 hours long because
of course it is.
Somehow Michael Bay has to go long.
Of course.
Like Armageddon's fucking way too long. Why is this movie so goddamn long? But then you realize with Bad Boys 2, the reason it goes so long is because the movie where it would normally end, it's only the beginning. Because Michael Bay's like, we got to invade Cuba.
Of course.
So
go to the landmine field.
I remember people talking about that back in the day, how it was like a throwback to like 80s Reaganism and like jingoism and whatnot. And then just watching this now, I'm like, oh my God, this is like so unnecessary. Oh, they got do-rags on. That means they mean business. And everyone just like, the tone of the movie totally changes because they got to save my sister. And every dude's like, yeah, that's bad. We got to save this guy's sister. And they just invade a country. They just go there completely illegally to go get her.
Miami PD.
And they take on the Cuban military. And they just fucking blow shit up hard everywhere, RJ.
Fucking rights they do.
Slow motion head wounds and people falling back onto mines and exploding.
It's good stuff.
And of course, the thorough line between Bad Boys and Bad Boy 2 is because you have to have some sort of thing where they're talking about how they're not having gay sex. Because otherwise people will get antsy, I guess. Or like, because Michael Bay thinks people will get antsy, and it's funny and it's easy.
Hey, Jarrett, people have actually mentioned to me that we don't talk about us not doing it, so people think we do.
Oh, okay.
So at this point, we'll just be like, gay sex is for the gays, hey?
Only if Michael Bay were filming us. And then it would be, and then we can have a scene where we're having a conversation, but it sounds like we're talking about what I did to your butt last night. It'll be so funny.
Oh, shit.
It'll be so funny.
Oh, the donut scene where he gets shot in the butt.
No, but it's later.
Oh, yeah.
When they're singing
That's good stuff.
the home electronics shop, and they're like talking on the couches, and all the cameras are pointing on them. They're talking about what you did to my ass the other night, and it's real sore, and he can't get it up, and and Black Lady has to get sassy.
I remember.
You recall?
I remember.
You know what though? That's enough for me talking about Michael Bay. But I understand you watched a couple Michael Bay movies as well on top of The Rock.
I sure did. I'll lead up with one of the worst movies I've seen in a long time. 13 Hours: The Secret Soldiers of Benghazi. Holy fuck! When did this movie come out? Like 2 years ago or something like that?
I think so.
Oh man, this is a bad movie.
Okay, Corey and I were both very surprised by this because we're like, "Whoa, 1 star."
I think this is an extremely poor made movie, and I would argue it to anyone. Watch that movie today, and actually watch it. Pay attention. Watch that movie, and I dare anyone to say that that's better than a 1-star movie. It is embarrassingly bad. So this is. Just more of Michael Bay's military propaganda stuff, which I don't care. Like, I'm not one of those guys who's like, oh, down with the military. Like, I don't give a shit about that. I think this movie is so cliched and lazy that, excuse me, now my voice is going out because of you.
You've caught it.
A little sip of the wet stuff.
This is going to sound excellent in somebody's headphones.
Fucking right. So anyways, this movie starts off and you get Jim from The Office, John Krasinski, and he gets dropped off in Libya. And you're getting a bumper at the start of the movie about how like Libya is a war zone and there's a American base and Benghazi and they're American heroes that no one knows their story because it was classified or some shit like that. Whatever. You get contract military serviceman John Krasinski coming out, not military anymore, but he's contracted by the CIA or some shit. And he gets picked up by his other military guy, and you have like the way that these people talk to each other is fucking embarrassing. It's like nobody talks like that. Like the guy's like, "You ready to?" The guy hands Jim from The Office a gun, and he's like, "It's loaded." And then Jim looks at it and he's like, "Yeah, it is loaded." And he puts it in his like to the side, and he's like, "Man, sure is hot." And then it goes like I'm not making this up. It goes to the other guy. He's like, "Yeah, it is real hot." And I was watching this. I was like, this was the first 5 minutes. I was like, "What the fuck is this?" I was like, "This isn't a fucking movie. Like, this isn't anything." It's like, hand a guy a gun. It's loaded. It's like, why wouldn't it be loaded? This doesn't make any sense. Oh, it's really hot. Yeah, it is hot. Like, it's just.
Is this Dante?
That's the whole movie. The whole movie is stuff like that. Like he comes to the CIA base and there's the boss who is Gale from Breaking Bad, and he's like, "I don't like you guys. I don't like military guys. You are my employee. Do things my way. I'm the bad guy." And you're like, okay. And then Jim gets introduced to like the other military guys, like the guy from season 2 of The Wire, Porn Stash from Orange is the New Black, and the other guy from The Office. And they're like, look at these stereotypes. That's the like guy who has sex with everything, and he's wild and parties, and like you're introduced to him, he's like, look at this music, and he's like dancing, he's like, isn't that fun? And then you have like the stern big guy who's the sniper guy, and he's like, you will get your reckoning one day, son. And like he's always like reading a book, he's like, yeah, we are our own tormentors. And you're just like, it's stuff like that, and it is just fucking brutal, man. Like I watched this thing for about an hour because this thing's 2.5 hours long. I watched it for about an hour, like intently. Like I was really trying, and then after that I was like not paying attention anymore, looking on my cell phone and stuff. And even so, I almost turned this thing off. I was like, this movie sucks. The action is bad too. I don't think the action's good in this at all. It's a bunch of guys on a rooftop shooting into fucking darkness. Anyways, 13 Hours, Secret Soldiers of Benghazi is fucking horrible.
Good to hear.
I would, you know what I was surprised at? I was surprised at all the fucking ratings from people who gave this thing anything over 2 stars, because I was like, that's not even worth 2 stars. That movie fucking sucks.
Fuckity sucks.
Fuckity sucks. If anyone else has seen this movie, write in about how bad it is. It's horrible. Anyways, you know what movie's not horrible? Pain and Gain.
Which I guess what I would say is Michael Bay's best movie.
Yeah, I think you might be right. So Pain and Gain came out a couple years ago. Features Mark Wahlberg, Anthony Mackie, and The Rock. Dwayne The Rock Johnson. True crime story about weightlifters who kidnapped Tony Shalhoub. In the real story, it was Tony Shalhoub that they kidnapped as well. So it was just good casting. They kidnap him and they ransom him for all of his money and things. They take it, but they're not very smart, and they get caught, which is what this movie is. I thought Pain and Gain was really good, really entertaining. Andrea watched this one as well, and she thought it was like, she liked it, but she was just like, oh my god, like she just said that a lot. She's like, this movie, like when the chainsaw has human hair stuck in it and they return it, and she's like, oh my god. And then like a little thing pops up and it's like, this is a true story. Like when The Rock is barbecuing human hands outside, is awesome. The Rock is really good in this because he's like so slow and naive and innocent, and you just want to root for him in this. He's so lovable. He's awesome.
It's like probably the best Rock performance I've seen in a movie.
He's super good in this because he's so charming. Even when he's a bad guy, you're just like, man, this guy's fucking awesome, because he's like so. The things he says are legitimately funny, and the delivery of all that stuff is done really well.
Because he is very slow.
Mark Wahlberg is real good in this. He is so like greasy that you're just like, oh man. But like he sells it completely. You're like, I believe it. This is Mark Wahlberg.
Yeah.
So Pain and Gain is really good, man. I liked it quite a bit. One, because the story is so like insane, goofy, that you're just like, I can't believe this is real. But I think it's actually a pretty well made movie. It does have some of the Michael Bay things in it, but I think this movie, it's like almost fits because the story is so crazy. But it's got some goofy.
Yeah, it's depiction of fat people, and it's depiction of like African Americans again. It's just like always
it fits for this because it's like, well, there's like multiple narrators, but when it's like Mark Wahlberg and guys like that, he's like, my body is like I am the pinnacle. He's like, if you don't use it, he's like, you're a fucking useless. And then it like shows fat people. But so I was like, yeah, that's Michael Bay, but it kind of works for the movie because I guess that's what this fucking guy was like. So I don't know.
Yes, but there's a way that he depicts things that like it just makes it seem like
hates fat people.
But it puts like because there's like a huge chunk of that audience that are gonna be like, yeah, fuck fat people. Like they're not even, they're subhumans.
Oh, they're eating their nachos.
There are people who do believe that. Like, just
Yeah, I know.
check out Twitter, and it's just like, oh great, here's another movie. Here's Michael Bay's opportunity to not be that guy, and he's that guy. It's like, that's cool. Thanks, Michael Bay. Makes it easier to hate your movies.
Yep. But yeah, this is probably his best.
Yeah, probably. This movie has a special place in my heart because this is the first movie I watched after I got my cat Warlock from the shelter.
Wow, that's pretty nice, actually.
On New Year's Eve of 2014. Just had gotten this out from the library. It's
Nice.
Pain and Gain or something like that, I think it was.
While he
Yep.
was walking around your house.
Yeah, learning the lay of the land, hiding under the bed, actually. That's what he did the first
Nice.
night. Until he kind of slowly crept out. So Pain and Gain
Cute.
fits into that part of my life. So it's like, oh, The Rock. He's such a good simpleton.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I know this movie's fine. I've seen some people who've like read the actual article this is based on.
Yeah.
It says the movie just is like kind of like ridiculous, like how it makes it a comedy when it's like a really
Yeah.
dark, fucked up story that shouldn't be like treated this way. Which
Yeah.
I haven't read the article, so I don't know. As a movie, just by itself, it's a piece of entertainment, and it's like it doesn't bug me like other Michael Bay stuff does.
Sure.
Yeah,
So that's the Bayham. What I think are his best movie, Pain and Gain, and his worst movie, 13 Hours.
wow.
I'm not kidding, man.
Yeah.
That movie fucking sucks. I
So-
dare you to watch that thing.
I'm not going to now. Yeah, and like the other thing I'll point out is that Michael Bay has dedicated like a third of his filmography to making Transformers movies.
Yeah, and that it doesn't seem like it'll stop, eh?
Well, supposedly his name's been attached to Lobo.
Which I would actually like to see if it ever happened, but I doubt it will ever.
Yeah.
Like fucking none of those DC movies are gonna happen.
Yeah, it's
Steven
Probably.
Spielberg's Black Hawk movie, yeah, right. If that ever happens, I'll eat my words on that. But
you'll eat your imaginary hat.
yeah, exactly.
Well, RJ,
What?
we have to do one more thing here. Who hates The Rock?
Let's find out.
Raz King gave this movie half a star. When Nick Cage said Zeus's butthole, I knew I wasn't watching a movie.
That part was funny. That part was. Oh, come on, you're ruining our show. That part was funny because of how silly it was.
Nomenclature gave us half a star. Dumb movie about some heavily armed idiots who for some reason want to take over Alcatraz Island. Who knows, cares why. Sean Connery and Nick Cage single-handedly infiltrate their base and stop them after dozens of trained soldiers repeatedly shoot at them with M16s. The dialogue is moronic and cuss words are continuously shouted throughout. At the end, Nick Cage stabs himself in the heart of an airplane tarmac with a hypodermic. To keep
Are
his
you
heart from
sure?
exploding or something, this movie is really, really stupid.
I feel like he's got problems with the logic that aren't there. It's like, why did they take over Alcatraz? It's fucking said, man. And it's an impenetrable fortress. It's an ideal place to have a hostage situation.
Duh.
That's not the problem with the movie, you idiot.
Idiot. And it wasn't on an airplane tarmac. It was just in a warehouse.
Fucking idiot.
Yeah, what a chump. Yeah, so that whole like needle in the chest thing, that's just like because Pulp Fiction came out the year before, I guess.
Yep.
We got Scott Calabrax, half a star.
That's a dumb name.
I'd managed to avoid seeing this classic for my entire
come on.
life. I don't know how, but I somehow sensed it was crap. A friend recently convinced me to watch it. I used the words brain melting in relation to the Mission Impossible movies, but those films are intellectual triumphs compared to this, this disgusting piece of cultural garbage.
Oh, geez.
Why does this movie have a Criterion Collection edition? It is insulting to the intelligence on every level. The soundtrack caused me physical pain. In all caps, piece of shit.
Okay, no one has ever said that the Mission Impossible... Well, actually, a lot of people think those movies are, like, intellectually fucking superior, but come on. Come on.
Yeah, I don't know.
Get off your horse, buddy.
I know our own Oliver Granger gave this movie a 1 star, which I think's a little harsh, honestly. I mean, come on.
Well, he might not... I don't know. Maybe he's a millennial and he doesn't have the attachment to us
Shit.
to it that we do. I don't know. Was that a burn?
I don't know.
I'm just saying, maybe he doesn't have that sentimental attachment
what-
of his grandma telling him it's real shit.
Oh, that's true. Or watching it awkwardly with your mom during that weird, like, brief little, like, sex scene.
I'll put it like this: if you watched The Rock with your mom or at your grandma's house, this was a real fucking movie, and this rocked your fucking world. So
Yeah, I mean, all I know is I've seen 1 stars, and this movie is not that. But you've seen 13 hours or 13 whatever the fuck. So
yeah, that's a 1-star movie. I guarantee it.
All right.
Yeah.
They're out there, folks.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's it. Fuck. Michael Bay, huh? This is it.
For now.
End of the road.
For now. Wait until that Transformers compendium comes out in the Criterion.
Nope. But hey, Con Air, am I right?
Yeah, I wish that had a Criterion. That movie rules.
People should just watch Con Air and let us know what you think. Maybe it's just like weird nostalgia, but I can't imagine anyone like hating that movie. It's so much fun. It's so fun.
Put the bunny in the box.
Yeah, there's some dumb stuff, but it doesn't matter. The movie it moves past it all.
Yep.
Yeah, wonderful. After the break, I don't know. We're gonna go home and fuck the cheerleader, homecoming queen, whatever the fuck.
No,
and I hope you're insured. Some sniper's gonna get his ass.
Look what you did.
I'm too old for this.
Oh, you're embarrassing yourself.
Just like Sean Connery has.
His whole career?
His whole life.